Welcome back to Get Up. I'm Peter Strager. I'm in for Greeny. We've got a great crew right here. Obviously, our NBA folks. We've got NFL, we got NHL, we got plenty more.
Got everything.
But let's go to MSG last night. What do you say? Let's get to it. Game 2, game of the night, Cavs versus the Knicks. Jalen Brunson comes into this one after a 38-point effort in Game 1. How would he perform in Game 2? Here he is, little jumper, no good. Mitchell Robinson says, I got you. Tips it in. Knicks take a 2-point lead. This game was close throughout the first half. Here's Josh Hart. He would have a career night. Bangs a 3 from the corner. Knicks up 5 at this point. Brunson, look at his pass. Jay Will.
How does he get through?
Vision. Such vision. Hart hits it again. Okay, third quarter right now. You're seeing it's a tie game. Here's Brunson. Deep 3. Hits it.
Okay.
MSG, not everyone in the Delta Lounge. They're actually in their seats watching the game, which I appreciate. Here's Mitchell missing it in transition. Towns to Brunson to Hart. Bucket.
Only 2 white jerseys back into play, huh?
He did not get back on defense. Great point. Brunson taking it to Wade. Jumper.
Mouse in the house.
All right, we have the makings of a run here, Striggs.
We do it. 7 in a row right now. Can we get to 9? Here's Hart, dribbling it down. Finds Bridges, who's been fantastic the first 2 games.
Timeout.
Chalamet says, look at that little move, the dipsy-do. Then the deep
Shoot it!
3. Hart was not afraid to shoot it. He took the shot, nailed it.
That's 14-0.
14-0.
Still open.
This would make it
18-0.
an 18-0 run in the playoffs in the third quarter. And yet Cleveland crawled their way back. This shot right here makes it an 8-point game. And I was in the Garden last night. It got a little quiet. Like, oh no, we did this to them. Can they do it to us?
Nervous energy, Striggs.
Yes. And Brunson says,
Big body.
don't worry about it.
Don't big body the bigger body.
One lefty leads into another lefty.
People asked Harden for more physicality, and well,
They didn't get it.
We're laughing at James Harden. Here we go.
All right,
Hart
this is crazy. Come on now.
rolls
that's a heat
around.
check. That's a spin into a heat check.
Take a listen to the MSG crowd in the final seconds. Nixon for.
Settle
Alan,
down.
my buddy Detro's a Knicks fan. He said, don't touch the money. Stop with that. What are we doing? We're talking about best team ever. What are we doing? Here we go. Here's Hart.
This place is special. You get into that mode. You see the ball going a couple of times. For me, I just kind of black out and I just play the game like I'm a little kid in the park and like I've been doing it for years. And I just kind of have fun with it.
In our minds, it's 0-0. You know, we got to win the next game. It's the most important game of the year. And that's how we treat it. You know, we're hungry for the opportunity to go out there and play basketball at the highest level. But we also understand that, you know, you can never be satisfied in these positions and in the playoffs. So the mindset's going to continue to be 0-0 every single time we step on that court.
Okay, it might be 0-0 for Karl Anthony Towns, but gosh, it might as well be 100-0 based on how historic New York is playing right now. They haven't lost a game since April 23rd. The 9-game playoff win streak extends the longest streak in their franchise history. And during this streak, they have a point differential of plus 212, which is the best by any team in any 9-game span in NBA history, regular season or the playoffs. Windy, I want to start with you. Your biggest takeaway from last night's Knicks victory.
This is a very well-rounded, very confident, very strong team. You watch how they've gone through these playoffs. You continue to be impressed. They've played 12 games. They've won 10 of them. The 2 they lost were by a single point that came down to the final possession. You've seen them win with Karl Towns running their offense. You've seen them win with Jalen Brunson running their offense. You've seen in this series them win taking Josh Hart off the floor because he can't make shots. In this game, they leave him on the floor and he crushes the Cavs with his shot making. They are a multifaceted beast. And this is what you have to have a championship team. I don't know if they're going to win it. I don't know if they win 6 more games, but I do know that they're absolutely an absolute powerhouse to deal with right now. And look out. And if you're a New York Knicks fan, no plans in June. Leave your plans alone because you're going to be watching this team.
Wow. Well, look, you said it. It's 10 wins, right? And when people are asking, like, what's the vibes around the team right now? Vibes are immaculate. Why? 10 wins. What does that represent? Okay, they've done that before in the playoffs. In one season, though, let's compare it to before Jalen Brunson got to the Knicks and after Patrick Ewing left. They had 10 playoff wins in a 21-year span. This is not something people are used to here. Normally, May is reserved for the Knicks trying to win the lottery. That had been the thing. And by the way, they never won that either.
No.
So that has been sort of the story of this franchise, is that since Jalen Brunson got here, the standard of play, the standard of expectations has gone up year after year. It has built. They have had to go through the calluses of losing in the playoffs. But when you start with a guy who's got a winning pedigree, what he did at Villanova, two-time champion, player of the year, Josh Hart also, Mikal Bridges also, that culture has permeated this franchise to a point now where they are 2 wins away from the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999. And, hope can drive a man insane, right? Hope is a dangerous thing.
Yes, it is.
There's real hope in New York right now.
Jay, I'm watching and I'm seeing Josh Hart be the man last night, and he wasn't that guy in game 1. What's that say about this team and Hart particularly?
They're a championship contender. I mean, Mikal Bridges carried the load in the first half as well. I mean, look, if you're a Knicks fan, you're saying, hey, let's go to Cleveland and get one. Like, we get one, we come back, let's close it out at home, right? And if you think about the way this is lining up, let's say Spurs and OKC go to 6, they go to 7, and they beat the hell out of each other. And then you get a scenario in which you're playing in the NBA championship, a team is tired, you have a fighter's chance, right? And I will go back to saying this, because I said it a couple weeks ago. It's the first time I ever said in my time here at ESPN, I believe the Knicks can win a championship. 2 years ago, Alan, you and I were on this show, and I said to you when they were playing against Ball, I was like, hey, man, it's trending in this direction. I know they have to win a championship to do so, but I not only think that Jalen Brunson has been the best player in this playoffs because he's 6'2", and the difficulty in doing that at that size and that frame compared to the 7'4" alien or on the Spurs. But if he win a championship, I said to you, I think he has a chance to be the greatest Knick ever. It's not only the way it's his leadership, it's everything. 14 assists last night. 28-plus points the night before. He just has a variety of different ways of showing up, and his toughness speaks for itself. He has a chance to trend in that direction, guys.
You go through, obviously, Walt Clyde Frazier and Willis Reed and Ewing, and but Brunson's in the conversation now, and he has to be for what he's done.
No, he's played his way into the conversation already without a ring on his finger. But to surpass the first 2 names, you've got to get one. Because, and honestly, in context, that one, 53 years we're talking about here, that one. In the same building, Marc Messier did this. Marc Messier walked in 54 years, ended it, right? That one cup had greater value than the previous 3 that the franchise had won back when it was a 6-team league. So the one can be the difference maker for anybody because of the context of the history of how long it took and what it would mean. So I do think it definitely, becomes part of that conversation. But you still got to do it.
You got to do it, of course.
And he can't do it alone. And that's what we're learning. Because while he went ISO in game 1, game 2 was, I'm now John Stockton. Now 14 assists. And it's showing you that this team has grown from last year, where it seemed very one-dimensional. It is no longer that.
Windy, I look at, obviously, the big change was the coaching change. What's Mike Brown doing well for this team that's really standing out to you?
I mean, here's the thing. They did a coaching change, and they also said, we're not going to trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah.
But that was a gigantic fan decision because they believed in this team. And this has really been a 3 or 4 year build to get here. I think one of the things that Mike Brown has done in his career, he has done his best coaching as an adjuster within playoff series. I know he's been fired quite a few times, but you go back and look at the playoff series that he's been involved in, either as a head coach or an assistant coach, there's been series where you've seen stuff like this happen before. And he said something last night that made me sit back in my seat. He was like, well, earlier in my career when I was head coaching a team that won 10 straight playoff games, I was like,
little flex.
Don't forget that he coached the Warriors when Steve Kerr was out with the back issue, and he coached them to 11 straight wins.
Yes.
So he's actually a guy who's dealt with. He can actually say, listen, when you've won 10 games in a row in the playoffs, you have to do A, B, and C. He was saying that to the team last night, and they had a meeting before the game. They all got together. They gave him some time off. They had a shoot around 2 hours before the game, and he went in there and said, guys, we should be down 0-1. We should be down 0-1. We got away with it. We are not going to be able to come out and give the same effort tonight. And that was what got the Knicks into a much smoother rhythm. I thought they played a much cleaner game last night.
To your point on that time with Steve Kerr and Golden State, the Warriors were notorious for blowing the doors off opponents in the third quarter. They'd make the adjustment at the half and completely flip the game. The Knicks in the second half of this postseason run are 11-1 against the opposition. They're outscoring their opponents by 7 points per game in the second half. They're a completely different team over those last 2 quarters.
As we turn the page to game 3, is there something you're looking at from a Vegas angle?
odd to say everything we just said and then say Cavs -2.5. But yeah, I would be playing the Cavs here. I think, first of all, we saw this before. We saw Detroit roll through Cleveland in the first 2 games of that series, and then Cleveland came back and got back on track in Game 3. It's different at home with the crowd pop. It's different for the bench. It's different for the starters. It's different for everyone. Cleveland on the road this postseason has been an abject disaster. They're 2-7 straight up and against the spread. They're scoring 104 points per game. But at home, they've been fantastic. They're 6-1, scoring 114 points per game. I think they get the ship right. I think you can play them in the first half. I think you play them on the game line, and then that team total of 107.5. They shot 39% last night. Knicks shot 52%. I think one comes down. I think one goes up, and that's the difference.
Real quick, Wendy, the Cleveland shooting was atrocious last night, especially from the bench.
The Cavs are a very, very good offensive team. They're not as good as the Knicks, but they're a very good offensive team. They win with the ball in their hands, not on defense. Last night, they did generate quite a few open looks. They just missed them. 1 of 15 off three-pointers off the bench. No team in the league is going to win, especially the Cavs, who are not going to win with defense against a team like the Knicks.
We got more NBA coming up because the King says he's in no rush to decide what's next. But what exactly does next mean for LeBron? Yeah, it's another offseason. We're talking, where's LeBron going? We're going to dive into what he said and what it could all mean. That's plus a huge Game 3 out west tonight as OKC visits San Antonio to face Wemby and the Spurs with the series tied and injuries piling up. Our crew breaks it all down here on Get Up on a Friday.
The energy this time every year, it's electric.
Don't sweat the technique. The Garden is shaking right now. We New Yorkers, you damn right we excited. Let's go Knicks! Let's go Knicks! And now I stay on target and refuse to miss. And I still make hits with beats when they sweat the technique.